Hey everybody, today we still keep working in basic mathematics, and today we're doing which is called sign number operations, right? Sign number operations. And sign number operations can be broken down into the four operations in mathematics, which is addition of sign numbers, subtraction of sign numbers, multiplication of sign numbers, and division and dividing sign numbers, right? So basically, it's a very important operation, and also it's a very basic, operation. Now, I will do some basic problems, and then we will work one of the problems in the book. Notice that when you're doing these operations, a problem can just contain addition of sign numbers, can only contain subtraction of sign numbers, also can just contain multiplying sign numbers or dividing sign numbers, right? Or a problem can have a combination of maybe of two of these operations or three of these operations or even the four operations in one problem. Okay, so we will work in one problem that involves some operations on sign numbers. Okay, now let's do a couple problems. Let's say that you want to add two sign numbers, right? And notice that I have a number line. I start at 0. To the right, you got the positive numbers. You got it 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Positive to the right. And I got a negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4 to the left, right? So therefore, this is a number line, and it can be used to easily identify the sign numbers that we're working on, right? For example, let's say that you want to add two numbers. One is negative 2 plus 3, right? Well, where is 2? What is negative 2? Negative 2 is right here, right? And where is 3? 3 is right here. Well, if you count the unit, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And 5 units, right? 5 units, right? Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Well, notice that if you pay attention to this, notice that these two units, this negative 2, let me just make this negative 2 a little bigger. Okay. Notice that this negative 2, this negative 2 up to 0 cancel with from 0 to negative 2. I'm sorry, positive 2. See that? So technically, if I want to say, okay, is it the distance between 0 to 2 the same as distance from 0 to negative 2? Well, it is the same distance, right? Now, what is the difference? The difference right here is basically 1. Okay, so therefore, this is going to be 1, right? The answer is 1. And notice that we keep the sign of the larger number for the final answer. In this case, 3 is bigger than 2. Okay? 3 is bigger than 2. But notice that we only count the number, the value of the number, right? If this was negative 3 and positive 2, the answer would have been negative 1, right? But in this case, it's simply positive 1 because 3 it's larger than 2, right? So let's do another one. Let's say that you want to do negative 4 plus 1, right? Well, negative 4 plus 1, where is negative 4? Negative 4 right here, right? So you got it 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? So, and of course, it is 5, right? But remember that we adding the difference. What is the difference? The difference is 1 right here, right? Because if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then a positive 1. In this case, the answer for this is nothing but we keep the sign of the larger number, and what it is, well, is negative 4. So therefore the answer is negative 3. Alright, so negative 3. Now, let's say that you want to do a problem that involves negative number minus a negative number plus another negative number, right? Let's say that you're adding negative 1. If you want to be on this side of the 0, on the left side of the 0, let's say that you do negative 4 plus negative 1, right? Well, negative 4 plus a negative 1 technically should be written in parentheses, right? Because this should be written like this: negative 4 plus a negative 1. Okay? In this case, negative 4 and negative 1 is nothing but negative 5, right? Because we adding two negative numbers, so therefore the answer is we added two negative numbers, so we go negative, right? So therefore the answer is negative 5. Okay, which makes sense because you count negative 1 and 4. Technically you adding like 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is 5, right? So when you add in two negative numbers, just basically you add like a regular numbers. Okay? So okay, so you notice that will bring me back here. If I add this number, because technically I am decreasing. I mean, I am increasing in a negative, but actually it's decreasing. But it is increasing at the number, but it's decreasing because it will go negative. But anyway, that means that put me 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 units. It should be right here. But anyway, that's how we add two negative numbers, right? Now the same thing with positive numbers. If you add 1 and 4, well, you add in this unit to this 4, that will put me over here, which is going to be positive 5, right? So the same thing, okay? So those are some of the basic sign numbers. Now let's do one problem from the book, right? That will involve some basic okay, before I do this, I will write something in the board that is called PEMDAS. Okay, so let's do one basic problem, which is number 31. Number 31, which is negative 6 plus 4 times 3. Okay, and then we will do number, well, let's just do this first. Okay, so let's do this first real quick. I want to explain a little bit of this. This means this is order of operation on sign numbers, which is parenthesis, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Again, parenthesis, which means that we work in parentheses first. Then, second, we do the exponent. Then we do multiplications. Then we do division. Then we do addition. Then we do subtraction, right? Excuse me. So therefore, we can do this, right? Okay, so over here I got a negative 6 plus 4 times 3, right? Which the order of operation tell me that I gotta do multiplication first, right? Then I gotta do addition, right? Because there is no division, but it's addition, okay? So therefore, in this case, it's going to be 6, right? And then 4 times 3 is 12, right? 6, negative 6 plus 12 is 6. Okay? So that is one of the problems, right? Now let's do another one. Okay. Let's do number 39. Number 39, which is 2 times 3 minus 5 plus parenthesis plus 8 times 2 minus 1. Okay. So in this problem, we have a little more operations involved. We have parentheses, we have multiplication, we have addition, and we have a subtraction. So we will do step by step. Step 1, we do parentheses, right? So 2 times, I do this operation, which is negative 2, right? Okay, 2 times a negative 2 plus, right? Now I am just writing everything step by step to minus 1, right? Now the next operation, so I already did this. Now I don't have exponents, but I have a multiplication, right? So then I do multiplication and I do negative 4 plus 16, right? 8 times 2 is 16 minus 1. Okay, so what is left? The last, now I gotta do addition, right? which I can add this to, which is this step right here. I already did this, right? So I am doing this now. So then this is 12. So this is 12 minus 1, which is equal to 11. Okay? So those are some of the problems that are in operations. I didn't have anything with exponents under, but I can make one up. Okay, let me just do change this number. Let me just make that. Okay, let me just change the problem a little bit. Let me just erase this. Okay, so let me just change this number, and let me just use, because I haven't used this and division, so I gotta make it sure that I use those, right? So let's do it. Okay, so let's do 2 squared times 3 minus 5, right? Plus 8 divided by 2. Okay, I just changed that 8. Okay, and yeah, just like that, right? So basically, actually, you know what? Let me just minus that one. Okay, so let's do this problem. Okay, so now I gotta do this first again. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I want to go ahead and do 2 squares, stay like that, right? Sorry about that. So 2 squared times negative 2 plus 8 times 2, 8 divided by 2 minus 1. Okay, so what is the next step? I already did this, right? Did the parentheses. Now I gotta do the exponent, right? So now the next step is to do the exponent, which is going to be 4, right? 4 times 2 again, right? Times a negative 2. Remember that this negative 2, so I gotta put this parenthesis in there just to make it sure that I have the negative 2, right? Plus 8 divided by 2 minus 1, right? Now I already did this. Okay, now I am doing m again with multiplication. So I multiply that, right? In this case, it's going to be negative 8, right? And then plus the division, which is a divided by 2 is 4, right? Minus 1. Okay, so what is the next? I already did this. The next is addition, right? So then I do 8. Negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4. Minus 1 is equal to minus 5. Okay, that will be the answer for that. Let me just write it down. So the answer for this problem should be negative 5, and we covered all the operations. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope this helped anybody who is taking basic mathematics. Thank you for watching.